03. And so I posted a question on my YouTube channel. Um, I don't know, maybe a week ago, maybe about a week ago. Let's see if I can get this right. Maybe about a week ago or so. And when I posted the question, I didn't know it would get the responses it got. I didn't know it would be such a like big video for me. But I honestly got what I got. I think I got on that video. I think it's 13K views. Matter of fact, I can see it from my joint right here. Let me pull it up, just so we can like observe some of the responses together. What you count? And I'm almost at 1,100 followers on this channel, which is super dope. Okay. View channel. Let's see if we can get it right. Let's look at these shorts real quick. Okay.
Can y'all name a 4-game series that is as good as the Batman Arkham series?
Okay, yeah. Can y'all name a 4-game series that is good as the Batman Arkham City? Arkham series, right? Pardon me behind me. I'm washing all my blankets, so there's no blankets on my bed. But and I've seen some interesting picks, right? I've seen God of War, right? I've seen, so let's look at the ones I've seen. I've seen God of War. I've seen GTA. Right? And I've seen people kind of butcher the challenge a little bit. So I'm gonna explain what I mean by that. So some of you guys, the question was you have to name a 4-game series, right? 1 through 4, which means you can't skip a game in between. You can't skip a game. So you can't say we're gonna start from Vice City and then we're gonna go to GTA 5. No. If you're gonna do a 4-game series, right? Then you're either going to start with GTA 3 when it finally became the 3D world, or you're going to start from the very beginning of GTA, which was like 1D from like the goddamn camera on down, right? So I give grace in that because those are almost 2 entirely different games, right? Even in the sense of like God of War. God of War is another pick I've seen, right? God of War 2018 and God of War 2018, God of War Ragnarok is almost 2 different eras. What up, y'all? What's up, Bush? What's up, Garfield? They're almost 2 different eras, right? Like that era of God of War and the original eras of God of War, 2 different eras of God of War. But you got to start from 1 to 4, 1 to 4. And some of the picks I've seen OG Resident Evil 1 through 4. That's a good pick, right? I don't necessarily agree with it, but that's a great pick. Mainly because horror games are my favorite style of game. So I'm never going to pick a horror game over an action story game that is based on one of my favorite superheroes. Just not going to happen. And then when you look at like, so we got the games on this list that I don't agree with. Right? I don't agree with Call of Duty. I don't agree with GTA. God of War is my favorite, but I don't agree with God of War. There's some other games on here that I haven't played. There's a Kingdom Rush. I never played that. Metal Gear Solid. I never played Metal Gear, so I couldn't tell you if it is or isn't. I do know a lot of people love it, so it appears to be comparable in that way. Uncharted, the Uncharted series. I've only played Uncharted 4. That's the only Uncharted game I ever played. Appreciate you for subscribing. Thank you. Thank you for subscribing. I've only played Uncharted 4. And I love it. Love it, right? One of my favorite games actually of all time. I'll do a vlog about that later. One of my favorite games of all time. But I had some people close to me who have played Uncharted, and they say, nah, it's not better, right? I think some of the people who are, then we got Zelda. I'm seeing Assassin's Creed. I've never played Assassin's Creed, but I've heard great things about it. I never really had an urge to play Assassin's Creed, right? The Hitman series, we got Doom series, Half-Life, God of War. Again, I don't agree with God of War. Right? I don't agree with God of War. And the reason I don't agree with God of War. All right, so let's go to the God of War game in order. Let's go to God of War in order. You have a good day as well. Let's go to God of War. Right? Because I want to make sure I got it right. because I'm one of the original. I'm one of the guys who played the original God of Wars, bro. And I love it. Let's see if I can get God of War game releases. Okay, so come on, man. We ain't got time for this. Stop being a bit weird. So we got God of War, the first one, God of War 2. Okay, we're not counting this mobile. There's God of War Betrayal Mobile, God of War Chains of Olympus, right? God of War 3, God of War Ghost of Sparta, then God of War Ascensions, right? The reason I'm not doing God of War, now we can scratch off the mobile, right? But God of War 2 and God of War Chains of Olympus, as big of a fan as I am of God of War, it gets stale. When you go God of War 2 and then Chains of Olympus, the game starts to get stale. Like if you're a true God of War fan, if you're an honest person, you can agree that the game starts to get stale. Whereas though with Batman Arkham, the series, Batman Arkham Asylum was really good. It was very closed in terms of you're in the asylum the whole time. But it was so good in the combat and what it did. And then Arkham City expands that. Now you're in the city of Arkham. It's dark, it's gloomy, it's at night the whole time. Like it's a great representation of Batman. Then you got Origins, where Origins goes back. And now you're fighting, the boss fights in Origins are like top tier. So I don't agree with this, right? And I love God of War. God of War is my shit. It is my shit. It's one of my favorite games ever. I remember the time, I remember when I played God of War the first time, it was an accident. It was a Christmas, and my brother had gotten all this stuff for Christmas, and long story short, I knew that our funds wasn't that, so so my mom ended up getting me a PS2, and I wanted the PS2. She got me the PS2, and this is like my brother got like a week, so this is like PS2 has been out for a little bit now, and I got the PS2, and it was a demo. It was a demo on it. Some demo games, and one of the games was God of War, and I fell in love with it after that. So don't get me wrong, don't get me confused. I beat God of War Ragnarok 2010. I'm a huge God of War fan, one of my favorite games, but it's not better than Batman the Arkham series because the Arkham series represents consistency, and each time the next game added something that was needed in the previous game. Like I said, it starts off in the asylum, and then we expand to the city. Then we go to an origin story, right? And then we do one of the greatest betrayals, one of the Batmans that he said his greatest failures. Like it was dope. It was dope. And people always keep saying this, like the story in Batman, Arkham Knight is so predictable. You know what's coming. Da da da. You only know what's coming if you know the origins of If you're a Batman fan, you're not gonna know that if you don't know Batman, right? Like if you don't know the Batman stories then you're not gonna know that that's Todd. You're not gonna know that's Jason Todd. You're not gonna know that, right? You're not gonna know that. So, So I mean, but that's just my personal observation of it. But there were some great picks on this list, some of which I plan on trying out myself. Tony Hawk Pro Skater, that was a different one. Ratchet and Clank, Sly Cooper, Prince of Persia. I haven't heard Prince of Persia in a very long time. You playing PS5 games? Yeah, I just said I beat God of War Ragnarok, which is a PS5 game. Borderlands. There's some people out there really like Borderlands. Devil May Cry 1 through 5. Again, we said 1 through 4, and this person added 5. But I do appreciate everyone who engaged with this post. Again, I understand the Uncharted pick, and although I don't agree with the God of War or Uncharted pick, I understand those picks because they're goated series. They're great games. But again, like I said, I love God of War. It gets a little stale. It gets a little bit stale. We got Sonic 1, 2, 3 CD. I don't know what that is. I don't know what the CD part is. The Dragon Ball Sparkling series. Dragon Ball Sparkling. Crash Bandicoot. I love Crash, Oh no. But I really think there's only a few answers. First of all, to make a great 4-game series, you have to, one, have a solid base. Batman is a solid base. Just organically is. He's a man, right? So it's easy to make it challenging and make it make sense as to why it's challenging. Because at the end of the day, as he's the world's greatest detective, but he's still just a man. So it's very easy to follow the storyline. Comes from trauma, filthy. Like it's easy to follow this, right? It's not hard to follow that. And then Batman has so much lore and so many stories, bro. You have to. It's hard. It's hard. You know. Let me see. What's this right here? No. Let me see if I can make that up. Is there a better 4-game series than Batman Arkham? I think I might have spelled Arkham wrong. No, I didn't. I spelled it right. Okay. I'm going to put that right here. Yes, we are. Here we go. Make it a little smaller. There we go. Oh, man. Y'all making this, like, come on, YouTube, do better. So, I think it's just hard to make a 4-game series that's just good all the way through. I just do. It's super hard to do. It's one of the hardest things to do. Because one, you can't let it get stale, which is what I think happened to God of War with the originals. And I'm a huge God of War fan, right? You can't let it get stale. You can't, once you create a great foundation, you can't get too far away from that foundation, right? You can't create this great foundation and then you can't do that, right? So it becomes difficult. But I think that's where Batman the Arkham series, I think that's where they did the best work, was that they understood the origins, they understood the foundation that made it great, and then they built upon that. They didn't forget that, like, this is what it's about. Like, this is the best part. And so I'm a huge fan of what they did. I only think there's a few answers. I think Resident Evil, of all the answers I saw up here, Resident Evil 1 through 4. I don't know much about Silent Hill. I never played Silent Hill. I don't know much about it. But I think Resident Evil, through my experience, again, I haven't played Silent Hill. I heard some great things about it. Somebody has Halo 1, 2, 3, 4. There are people who, I've heard a lot of bad things about Halo Reach. So I can't say that. I've heard a lot of bad things. I got Fallout. Fallout's a series that people are mentioning. It's just someone says here, Halo is disqualified, namely because it never had a good 4th game. Okay. Somebody says Origin was doo-doo. People are stupid. Nothing was bad about Origin. Origins is an amazing game.
Can y'all name a 4-game series?
And then somebody did say some shit that had me laughing. One dude said Pokemon. Pokemon. Bro, I grew up on Pokemon. Grew up on it. Legendary series. Full of nostalgia. Full of great times. Full of all of that, right? Pokemon is not better than no goddamn Batman Arkham series. And I grew up on Pokemon. I got all the nostalgia of Pokemon in the world. I love Pokemon. It's one of my favorite things in the world. Especially yellow and gold and silver and crystal. I love them. I absolutely adore them. They're not better than Batman. Batman Arkham was so good that people just stole the combat system. They just stole it. They were just like, bro, this combat system is amazing. The storytelling is amazing. Even like when you get into the pretty much like the battle royale fights, they're fun. Because once you understand the combat, once you understand the various weapons you have as Batman, it becomes so much easier to like really play and really enjoy the game. So as hard as I think, the only game in my own life that I played, the only game I played that if somebody said, I believe this is better than Batman, would be Resident Evil. It would be Resident Evil's the only one. I love GTA. But if you follow what I said strictly, then GTA doesn't compare at all. Because then you got started from like the 1D shit when it was like the camera looking down, right? And then if you say fuck that, because I'll give you this grace, GTA 3 is significantly different than GTA 1 and 2. I'll let you start from GTA 3. And you still don't have a shot because GTA 3, I did a review on GTA 3. Love the game. One of my favorite games, right? So much nostalgia moments with it. The music reminds me of great childhood moments. All of that stuff, bro. At the end of the day, GTA 3, when you look back on it today and you play it today, you're like, damn, I love this game, but it's not what I thought. That's it. I love this game, but it ain't what it didn't age the way I wanted it to, right? GTA 3, I still love it. Still love it, but it didn't age the way you think it did. Then you got Vice City. Vice City was better. Colors, like brighter, more a deeper story, right? You felt more attached to the character. And then San Andreas, we know that's amazing. But San Andreas has so much fucking filler. Like San Andreas, the amount of filler in San Andreas. The amount of filler in San Andreas, bro. If you took San Andreas might be, let's see how long San Andreas is. Let's go ahead and see how long of a game this is. Let's see how long of a game this is. The main story takes 20 to 30 hours, right? If you want to play it all the way through and complete everything in it, right? It takes 50 hours. It took me about 27 hours to beat it. So basically it took me about 30 hours, right? If you took out the filler, I finished that game in probably 18 to 20 hours. There's a lot of filler in GTA San Andreas. And I love it. It's a lot. GTA 5, I didn't have the biggest connection with it. Like I beat it and didn't really care. Didn't really care. And they've been milking GTA 5 for way too fucking long now, bro. Like they need to stop updating the shit and but I feel like Rockstar's getting so much money from it that it's hard to stop milking something that's working like that. But like I said, man, I don't see the GTA series being comparable to Batman Arkham. I just don't see that. Not to say, again, it's not saying that it's not great or it's not goated, because it is. It's both of those things. But I just don't see it being comparable. I just don't. See, this is a good comment right here. See, now there is so much content in these 4 games. Have the Riddler challenges, taking on good road galleries, exploring each game's location. Just felt like a badass Batman gameplay. I say it takes the cake out of any 4-game series list, but my childhood, I'd say Ninja Gaiden and Devil May Cry. Right? And he says it matches the same hype. I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad, but it's just, if you haven't played the 4 Batman games, it's hard for you to understand how good they actually are. Like, if you haven't beaten all 4, I beat all 4 of these games. I beat them all on stream. You can go find them. You can find them in my VOD. You can find them. I beat all 4 of these games. And to be honest, like, I don't think there is. I don't think there is, bro. I don't think there is. I beat all the Spyros. Spyro wasn't 4 games. The original 3. I think it's originally 3, right? It's a trilogy. They weren't it. I beat the original Crash was 3. I beat that. The only game that if you say I think this is better, and I'm inclined to agree, is Resident Evil. Because Resident Evil has deep lore. Resident Evil has great storytelling. Resident Evil 4 is like one of my top 3 favorite games of all time. And I'm talking about the remake. Like, I didn't even play the original. The remake Resident Evil 4 is one of my top 4 games of all time. I could play that all day. Like that, I have so many hours on that game. Like, I have a lot of hours on that game. So for me, there's options. I got like hair like all on my face. There's options, and these questions largely are based on our experience and what we like and what we don't like. So I'm not here to shit on whatever you guys pick. I'm just saying that from a perspective of like really deep analyzing the game, I don't think there's a game that necessarily holds a candle to what the Batman Arkham series was able to pull. It pulled off some amazing shit, brother. Like, it's hard. Being consistent is one of the hardest things in the world. I'm gonna tell you why. For a multitude of reasons. I got hair, for a multitude of reasons. One of the reasons why it's hard to be consistent is because you won't see immediate results every single day. This is life. This ain't got nothing to do, fuck the game. This is life. you won't see them every day, right? You won't see them every day. So because you don't see it every day, you have to kind of, for lack of a better term, twist and contort your mind to understand that you're building for tomorrow, even though you don't see it today. That's why people who train consistently, whether they're playing basketball, football, boxing, people who train consistently, they don't only flourish in their sport, they flourish in life because they understand delayed gratification. They understand working towards this, right? This thing, whatever this thing is to them. They understand that, and they understand that today I might not win, right? And it's okay, but it's not about winning today. It's about putting this, as Will Smith said, laying this brick down as perfectly as possible. I'm not going to have a wall today, but if I keep laying a brick down every day, right? Theoretically, obviously, if I keep laying bricks down every day, at some point there will be a wall, and there'll be a damn good wall because I took my time in creating and cultivating this wall. And when you look at the Batman series, you can tell those writers and those creators took their time. They didn't rush the process. They took their time. They understood the Batman comics. They understood the Batman lore. They understood everything that went into making Batman Batman. Right? They made you think like Batman. They made you understand Batman. And again, he's a human. So you're like, God damn, this shit is dope as fuck. So it's one of those things where it's just super hard to do that. And then it's fucking Batman. He's a superhero. The nucleus of the fucking Justice League. Without him, they don't move and function the same. They'd just be a bunch of powered up dickheads. They miss a lot of things. So yeah, I appreciate everyone who jumped in the comments, who spoke on what do they think in terms of like if there's a game better, a 4-game series better than the Batman Arkham series. I do appreciate that. I think it's an amazing thing because it shows me how far just a question can go. Again, this was 13. This has 13.5K views. Right? Like I'm happy. I'm happy. Like that's pretty dope, and that pushes me closer to getting to a point where I can live off of this creative space because it's hard to, right? It's hard. So I do appreciate all you guys tuning into it. If you guys haven't tuned into that question, if you guys haven't answered that question, please go ahead. Like it's still up. It'll be up. I won't take it down. I have no intention of taking it down. But this is dope to see that. And yeah, this was great. This is a great series, man. Great series. But I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Have an awesome day.